What's up, guys? Happy 2019. 2019, that sounds very weird. For me, everything after the year 2000 is just the future. And I feel like, I'm obviously, compared to a lot of people, I'm young. Compared to a lot of people, I'm old too. I don't know where that statement's going, but basically, for my age, it still seems weird that a year that happened when I was like 15 sounds like the future, and I can't keep track of anything since then, even though it's been, what, 18, 19 now years? It's just weird. Like 2003 sounds like 5 years ago to me. Any case, I hope that 2019 sounds like awesome to you guys and that you're doing well. Ginger Graves, hello. I am so sorry that you had some issues with your fish. I hope my email helped a little bit. I don't know. It'll probably be time that will tell on that. Maybe we'll speak about what happened to you in this stream just as kind of a learning point or a talking point for other people because it's something that I've had happen as well. So we can get to that. Right off the bat, because, live from a ferry in the Puget Sound, I am being watched. So somebody was out on Whitby Island with some wheat thins with his mummy, mama. Uh, I know that was there. There's other people in this video, and I was speaking directly to one person. I apologize. So today, what are we going to chat about? I got some new fish. I got some new plans. We've got the big giveaway that's still happening just because Christmas is over. Just because your Augustan calendar may lead you to believe that you are, or your Julian calendar, I don't know, which calendar do you use? Do you believe in leap years? May make you think that the year is over and the holidays are over. They are not for this channel, and we will be giving away a couple $100 worth of stuff still, and that will be wrapping up next Friday, the 11th. All right, let's see here. Just gonna look at a couple questions. What is up? Jason, Justin, Ginger, Crystal Shack Aquatics, Keith, Blake, Dan, John, Christy. Hello, welcome. I hope everybody's having a good weekend and good vibes. Um, Loaves and fishes lurking again. You're like a friggin' hammerhead or something, just down there and doing circles. So first of all, let's get it out of the way. Let's just get all of this stuff out of the way. And I will tell you one more time. I will try to make this succinct because people who click on this after it's live, this is what they wanted to figure out. And I'm going to say it again. If you want to be part of this competition, thank you to the Georgia Attorney General, I have changed the rules and I had to make a video about that. If you want to go back to that video, that is fine, and I explain it for like a half hour if you really want to get into it, especially those of you who emailed me that you personally talked to the Attorney General. Thanks. So I've learned some things, and we'll have to do some things a little differently in the future because I'm not like a corporation or a company. I'm just a YouTuber. Um, so the sale, the sale they have offered everyone who watches my channel, and they is aquaticarts.com. Basically, we've teamed up at Aquatic Arts, which is a company that I think, even though the shipping's expensive, I think they have phenomenal nanofish, grants, and good inverts. Great inverts as far as Neocaridina. For Caridina, not gonna lie, you can get better other places and also pay more other places. So that's up to you. Same goes for bigger fish. I recommend the wet spot for like big cichlids and stuff. But for what they specialize in, I love Aquatic Arts, especially if you got an order that's like $100 or so. Totally worth it. 55 to $150 order. They are rad. And yes, I agree. The shipping can be brutal, So make sure you're ordering live fish from them if you're ordering something. Otherwise, order it somewhere else, your local fish store or something. But they have killer low prices on things. Like when they were selling their panda loaches, they were selling them for $35 for three, which is like unheard of. So, I mean, that alone pays for your shipping, considering I've seen stores in Seattle charge $40 a fish for those little teeny fish. So, the giveaway. It is now considered a sweepstake vernacularly. So, just getting that out there. And no purchase is necessary to enter. Now, just by saying you want to enter on any of the past videos that talk about giveaways, I'll include this one that makes 5 videos in the last 2 months about this giveaway, the holiday giveaway on the channel through Aquatic Arts. If you say, I want to be in the contest in the comments of the video after the live stream, or any of those past things, you will be entered with one drawing token, ticket, slip, whatever. And I have an Excel thing that can be populated by my subscribers. So my subscribers will all be getting 10 of those tokens, even if they didn't tell me they wanted to be entered. And if they don't want the prize of like whatever it is, 20 blue dream shrimp and everything you need to get going with them, I'll defer to the next person in the drawing. I don't know why they would do that. The shipping is covered by Aquatic Arts. So, you get 10 points for that, 1 point for saying you want to be in, and 50 if you use the code Secret Shrimp, all in caps, and the number 15, that's 15, you get 50 points. So you have 60 points if you're a subscriber, 61 if you said you want to be in the drawing, and then I will draw from a batch of all the points and names and have a random number generator. There's a couple out there online, and I'm still kind of messing around with them to see which one I like. I didn't know there were so many options, but apparently there's a lot of people who need to do giveaways and have the same issue. So that will happen, and if you buy more than one thing from Aquatic Arts, like if you bought something back in November, the end of November when I announced this, and then you bought something else in late December or now, this week, they will be telling me that, and they'll give me your email. So the email will be linked as points, and so will your YouTube, and so you won't necessarily know, but I'll get a hold of you either way, if that makes sense. Like, I'll either have your Facebook or your YouTube contact or your actual email contact via them, who will handle it because they're not going to give out emails. I'll just assign random numbers to the number of people who are in that order. And I do want to thank you because we have raised $164 as the percentage in the last 4 months of this giveaway of using that code Secret Shrimp 15, which is 15% off your order and entry into the contest, sweepstake raffle. And the other code, if you've already used Secret Shrimp 15, which you can only use once, Secret Shrimp 10 you can use every single time you have an order. If they're doing a Black Friday sale or something, and they have a 40% off code, still drop them a line and say, hey, I got here, or I know about this from Secret History, and they will take the money you spent and put it into a fund for giveaways the next time, plus probably add you to the drawing, whether you like it or not. And contact you. If you're like, I do not want free things, then we'll pick someone else. And if they don't live in the States, Betsy, I will be giving them a gift card. And actually, I have to say, 30% of my viewers right now, consistently, subscribers and viewers, like 34%, are not in the US. So there's a good chance that would happen. And the grand prize I haven't worked out, honestly. I think that one I'm just gonna will hope that it's American uh, for that one, just because of the shipping and stuff. But and because it's aquatic arts money, but I will honor with my own money from Patreon and stuff where I've gathered money. I will honor, the $40 gift card or whatever to someone international, and I will speak with them and figure out what the best means is to get them 40 US dollars in Australia or Singapore or wherever it might be, Western Union or Visa card or PayPal or whatever system you want to use. Bitcoin fractional VPN wallet pickups in dark corner alleys of the internet, whatever. Okay, so now that all that's out of the way, you guys have till January 11th to do that, to get more points for that drawing. And then on the 11th, which is a Friday, and let me double check that. I think it's a Friday. Yeah, okay, good. I didn't miscalculate. Flynn, how's it going, buddy? How's it going up north in Vancouver? Christy, hello. Ben, in Australia. Good day, mate. Hope you're doing well. Have some suds while you're watching this. I know it's a weird time for you guys to be watching. I was going to do like a 4 a.m. video live stream and just talk about like British and European and Australian fish or Asian fish, maybe something like that. Yeah, it's kind of cold down here, Flynn, too. I know we're not that far away, but for those of you who don't know the area, there's one little mountain pass in a town called Bellingham, and then there's just islands, and there's an area called the Fraser River Valley that has cold air coming out, and it's like Eskimos and igloos like 5 feet away from the U.S. border, and Americans just don't go there ever. Um, so it's 1 p.m. in New Zealand, 10 a.m. in Australia, 11 a.m. in Australia. Okay, well that's not too bad. Okay, I can see that. Then that's good. You're waking up on Sunday and enjoying a bit of the stream. Hey, could you tell me something about? No, I do not know that species. I am sorry. I can look it up and uh, Yoho Cromwood. I can look that up and try to find out something on that. But I don't personally have experience with it, so I'd be just talking off of Google. Oh, the smallest fish in the world. Yeah, I keep track of that in that it's changed like not quite monthly, but like every 6 months it's changed. And the smallest fish in the world is like really teeny, and it looks almost like a sea monkey or something. It's like clearish and like teeny. Usually they show it next to a dime or your pinky. Um, and yeah, I don't know a lot about it. I know that it's hard to keep. I've heard that much. And so yeah, Tangelo, hello. I hope you're doing well, my friend. I know you've been here since the beginning. I appreciate that. By the way, does anybody like the universe and cats? Because I don't. Let's talk about fish. This is a fish channel. Some fish. I got some new fish. You don't need to see my face, so let's flip around and talk about fish. Speaking of small fish, I have become Sunshine Aquatics. Hello, welcome all. Come on in. I have this tank, which basically I'm supposed to be entering into an aquascaping contest, and I don't I don't know where it's going right now. I know this all looks so washed out on the live stream. Try to believe me when I tell you that this is actually bright pink, and this is like some of these plants are like blood red actually. It's just the LEDs in my phone and the angle of swamp gases off Venus or something. But in any case, this tank, I think I'll be trimming down a little bit of it. I've got a whole bunch of Rotalo Alicia growing up that I've like cut in half and placed down in there. It was over here. Move that. I think I'm gonna chop down a lot of this, but oddly enough, my coolie loaches are like loving these trees, or not trees, but Rotala and Ludwigia because of the flow. So they're just eating stuff. I definitely changed the light for the competition, Ben. Unfortunate part is for the competition this time, they're coming to the house, so there's no hiding any of my errors or algae. So algae will be a top priority in about 2 or 3 weeks, and at the beginning of February, then I'll start really like cutting things. Or actually, the last week of January. My birthday is the 19th of January, and I'll be trimming things down and getting them looking nice. What I like to do at this stage, this far out, month and a half out, is I will grow up this stuff like this Tala pink Vietnam. I'll grow it up all the way to the top, maybe even till it curves. But you want to make sure it doesn't have runners. So you really need to pound it with nutrients, and otherwise you'll get those white runners. And you can sit there and cut them all off, but I'm trying to keep everything with a lot of nutrients. Just kind of say, forget the algae that's here, and I'll deal with that the last 2 weeks. I can get that under control. And oh well, your son's birthday, Brackish Bass. I like that name. Welcome, and I like that your son has my birthday. So yeah, also I got some new. These guys aren't from Myanmar, Lake Inle, but they just go so well with the panda loaches, and they hang out pretty much exclusively towards the top most of the day. And rocket killies are one of my favorites, and they had males and females. And so I got 5 of those. I traded some fish around and stuff like that. Jason Corley, I really appreciate that, mate. I really appreciate the super chats. They mean a lot. I get to put them back into this channel. I don't get to touch them for like over 3 months until they process it and everything. But it's like I am hunting right now for uh why do I want to say Gimli? Gimbal to stabilize things, and also a good camera. All right, Select Pet, just stopping by. Well, you have a great weekend. The other thing I got in here is recently that's new is well, by the way, I got a million new Malawi shrimp. I'm gonna start selling these. They're not big in the hobby, but they are prolific, and they eat algae at as good of a rate as a mono shrimp, if not better. And I think they're really cool when you look at them up close. Some of them have blue spots, some of them have pink. And if they're on light substrate, they look like this. If they are on dark substrate, they'll turn jet black or red. Like, they have all sorts of colors. So, yeah. This, by the way, is a pellet. One of the nibs, Sarah nibs, I believe they're called. And you can see I've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20 shrimp all hanging out, eating it all of a sudden right here. So yeah. And then there's still shrimp hanging out everywhere else in the tank too, like up here. The blues are doing well. There's a younger and oh, what I was gonna say is I got some of these really, really top notch, just I mean like brilliant, stunning celestial pearl danios that came through Aquariums Inn, my local fish shop, and they have. Let's see if I can get one. They're so shy. They have orange and red in their finnage, like normal, but they have yellow in the bottom of their finnage, which means that they are from the east side of Lake Inle, and they live in the divide coming down the mountains towards Thailand. And so that collection point is not as common, but these fish have genes for yellow fins. I don't know if you could see that in passing, but they do. and so I'm excited about that. Also, panda loaches. I'm sad to report I bumped up the fertilizer in the tank about 2 weeks ago. Thought the panda loaches were hiding. Well, unfortunately, I lost two of them. And I think literally just that small amount of nitrate or whatever in the ferts, the just adding anything to the water, they love such low TDS, but I think it was too much for them. And this water's TDS hovers at like 50 if I can, and the pH is like, I don't know, 6.5 usually, something like that. So keeping the nitrates here stay around zero naturally, the way there's so many plants in this little 17 gallon. But look at that combo; they're so cute. But yeah, so they look really interesting in the tank together. All these fish, and most of them are the cypriniv natives of Lake Inlay, so that's exciting. And the shrimp are doing well, so that's also exciting. And I moved the plecos out of here into the big tank, and they're bulking up quickly. So I'm gonna try to turn slowly. What substrate do I have in that tank? That's Amazonia, ADA Amazonia Light, which means it has less nitrate and ammonia in it. The other new fish that I got were some new puffers. If you remember a few weeks ago when I lost, well, actually a few months ago now, when I lost some of my plecos and cistrus, they died because of a virus, or bacteria, I should say, called Vibrio, which is a shellfish-borne virus. Or, sorry, bacteria. Jeez, what's wrong with me today? And they died, and I nuked the tank. I got rid of the tank. Like, I'm not even using the 20 gallon that those ones were in. Unfortunately, I had also been feeding the pea puffers, the snails, and Vibrio is a shellfish-borne disease that humans can get too. And so, within a week of that, these little pea puffers that had been eating the ram's horn snails, a few of them died as well. So I've replenished the colony of puffers again, the little pea puffers, and so I've got 7 pea puffers in here again. But I did lose 3 or 4, which was another bummer. And I like to tell you guys the truth about what goes on. I do keep a lot of fish. I've got hundreds of fish, and stuff happens like that. But that was an odd one in that it was all traceable back to anything that ate the shellfish, or that munched on the body that had died of that shellfish exposure. So also the plecos that died, I luckily saved their babies, the L144s, and those are the yellow, and they're really yellow in this tank. Whatever's in the diet that they like is, I love it. Like, this guy's so yellow, he's glowing, and they've got blue eyes, and it's not orange, it's just this banana, or I mean, I don't know what the right McDonald's logo yellow. So that's awesome. This tank here is just gravel and a little bit of crushed coral and whatever the sorry guys, the puffers crush up and leave shell-wise. So there's a higher TDS in this tank, higher calcium in this tank. Also, there's red shrimp in this tank again. I'm trying to put all my Riley or really coals in here. Call them banana plecos. I like that. Yeah, right now they're called L144 blue-eyed albinos, but they're not like true albinos. They have an albino gene, and then they've evolved from that. Here are my true albino plecos that are long fin. So these ones are younger, and those parents were in the same tank. They also passed away. But these guys are a little smaller. They don't seem to put on weight very well, but I've got them in various tanks as well. And Also down in here where it's all dirty and you can see all the scuzziness on here from algae, I've got my green dragon plecos babies that are growing out. There's still a good number of them. Um, and then, oh, hey, Haley, Charles W., hello. Tetra Keeper, yeah, hello. Christy Hayes, Baltic Sea Guppies, Jason Corley, wow, we got lots of people coming through. Aquatics, yeah, so good to see everyone. Thanks for coming out. I wanted to ask in this video also what you guys want to see on this channel. I mean, I have ideas. I have things like more species profiles, delving into the history of the people who quote unquote discovered them for the West, different species, behavioral quirks, genetic quirks, things like that. And I feel like that would be fun. But I also want to keep in mind to what the viewers, you guys, would like to see. And I can do more. I also keep getting calls from people, hey, can you do one on how to set up a tank or how to cycle a tank? Things like that that I thought like this channel was a little too nerdy for. Like if you found this channel, you probably have gone off the deep end um, into this. Oh, you're invested in watching the cribs grow up. Well, that's great because I am too, and love babies. Hey Betsy. Um, yeah, I always set up a live stream while Betsy's eating dinner. But yeah, these cribs are doing well. I haven't cleaned the glass because the babies are eating whatever's living in the algae on the glass. They come up to the glass and they're eating the little white specks of whether they're copepods or whatever. I don't know what they are. Uh, Okay. Oddball. Haley says, I want to see you take your vast knowledge factoid you call a brain and dumb it down for us into like 10-minute did you know videos. Yeah, I've actually thought about doing some I've thought about doing some more of that. Oh, Christy, you like the live streams? That's good because I always kind of feel insecure about them. I'm like, I don't know what I'm going to talk about for sure on some of them, or I do, and I'm like, how do I fill the time? And they're kind of sporadic. But the live streams are not necessarily for people after the fact. They're really for those of you who happen to catch the live stream, and I get to interact with you like a normal human being, pretty much. And so I'd rather have it be an ADD live stream to everyone else thinks it's jumbled up after the fact, but have you guys who have taken the time to be here for the chat to have it make sense to you guys. I would prefer that, and then I'll do my other videos also. You love the science around fish keeping. Nerds unite! Yes, that's right. Yeah, so just joining the group, send a request. My name is Gerard in Facebook, and I will try to participate on Facebook. Not a fan of Facebook, but I like the live streams. Relic Turtle, yeah, I'm not a huge fan of Facebook either. I use it as a photo album essentially since I was in college. Oh, by the way, the puffers that I just introduced are not like the last set of puffers. These little puffers don't understand to leave the cribs alone because the cribs will mess them up if they come near the babies. Here comes both cribs. So we got the male up here and the female. She's hanging out down in there. But she swims all over the place. Oh, and the babies. So the babies are, I know it's hard to see through the algae and stuff, but that's where they're eating. All those little moving specks, those are babies. There's probably 40 to 50 babies hanging out right now. And yeah. Let's see. Yeah, that's interesting. Tetra Keeper says, try making a tank that you don't have to feed because it's its own biotope. That is a really cool idea. I've had tanks like that in the past because I'm a degenerate and not because I worked to set it up. But basically, I had shrimp and guppies breeding, and then a larger fish that were just eating the shrimp and guppies, and it just worked out that way. But that is something I would like to explore. By the way, can I get this glare lesson just to show you how yellow these things are? Let's see here. Yeah, they're so yellow. Look at that. So I'm really excited. I think these are way more yellow than their parents were. And these plecos I'm excited about. Somebody asked what I've been feeding these plecos. Well, I have a varied diet of, I've been feeding them just like Fluval bites for bottom feeders. And then Tetra mini granules, tropical flakes, Omega 1 fortified brine shrimp, and then I also give them bloodworms and like a vegetarian frozen food mix by San Francisco brand. What else do I give them? Oh, blackworms from time to time, and then I used to give the adults cucumbers and stuff a lot, but I haven't been that much on these younger ones because they seem to chew on it a little bit. But right now, this tank has enough algae and roughage in the plants that they're actually munching on some of the plants, and that's okay with me, as long as they're not destroying everything. But it's kind of they kind of eat whatever a little bit of everything that's in here, and a lot of the algae on the back wall. They keep the back wall really clean. I don't know what their problem is with the front glass. Maybe they're just scared, but they live up to their suckerfish name, this specific species or strain. Also, I have been trying to breed these guys, leopard danios. So that big female released about 150, 200 eggs downstairs in a tank. And so we'll see if those hatch in the next 3 days. Yeah. Let's see here. Oddball Aquatics, like your video on the breeding colony that you were taking up to Lucas's. I want to see a video of those red root floaters you said you might sell to me. Oh yeah, totally. Oh good, we got Gerard/Relic Turtle into the Facebook group. The Facebook group is really just a great way to show like this is what I'm breeding, because YouTube doesn't let you leave photos for comments. If it did, we wouldn't really need it. Also, I encourage all of you guys to make friends in that group. If you want to trade something that they post and you live in the same country or area, like do that. I know people who call and talk to each other because not even about fish stuff, just from that group. And so that's really cool. It really has become a community. So, also, do I keep corridors too? Yeah, definitely. Let's see here. Yeah, you want me to come clean that tank? No, as I said, the crib babies are doing better than they've done with this set of parents ever. And they're hanging out on this dirty glass. And I know that's not fun to film through the film. You see all these little babies moving around. They're pretty well blended in. But they're eating off the algae. And when I step back from the glass, they're eating specifically on this thick layer of algae. They won't go to this side where it's not as thick. So I'm going to let them do their thing. Everyone hates algae, but it's actually really good for little fish. Let's see. Oh, Adonia Strongman, you posted a picture of your guppy male and only got 1 like. That's lame. Let's go in there and fix that, you guys. I've worked hard to make... Yeah, Betsy, big up to Betsy. She's worked really hard, as she just said, to moderate, to guide the path of Facebook and where it heads, how people interact, all that stuff. And I really, it means a lot to me. So thank you, Betsy. Is it common for fire reds to be almost clear when they are born. No. So with shrimp, you don't want, like, right when they're born, maybe, but you don't want them to be kind of clear. At night, they'll get clearer. If you look at an adult at night, they look more translucent. And because of that, the babies should be able to be that translucent. So take a flashlight at night, wait till the shrimp are well asleep and not expecting you, and then come in and blind them with a flashlight and see what color they are. If their babies are that color or redder, then they will be probably pretty good quality color wise. If they aren't, they're probably lower grade. And if they're like really light colored, you may have some that you just need to get rid of. They may have mated and kind of gone wild. Do you know where to get gold ring danios that you said would be good with dwarf puffers? Yeah, so I can't promise they would be good with dwarf puffers. For me, they've worked in this tank because they're quick. Same with the leopard danios. They're super quick. And the firebar danios, these Kyathit danios here. Um, they've all been quick enough to get away from the puffers. They're not as territorial and they shoal. So in a 40-gallon, they work for me with them. Plus, gold rings are very small. They're called Tin Winnie danios, and they are named after that because a company in I believe Singapore funded the expedition to find them in Myanmar and was the first to export them. The Tin Win company, big exporters. They export like all the CPDs and stuff like that. But yeah, to find those, I highly recommend going to, and I'm gonna divulge a mind-blowing secret here. I don't have anything to gain from it other than you guys being happy. So sign up for the wet spot. The wet spot is specifically a cichlid, an African like lake cichlid specialist. They probably have more cichlids, maybe the cichlid exchange in Texas, but arguably they probably have the most retail, definitely, cichlids in America. They usually have around 1,000 species on their stocking list. They're in Portland, Oregon. But if you sign up for their mailing list right now, any order over, I think it's $30, they will give you free shipping. And so free shipping and then order from them. They work on getgills.com, and they also work via their own website kind of thing, or calling them. But the Tin Winai, you can order like, 12 of them or something from them. They're guaranteed arrival, and no shipping on that first order when you sign up for their mailing list. And then if you don't want their mailing list, just get rid of it. All right, I'm going to attempt to go downstairs in a moment. Let me clear out the rest of. I'm going to answer a couple more of these questions, then we'll go downstairs and look at what's going on down there. Uh, what have been your experiences with ick? Do you feel it always comes in on new fish, or do you feel it? No. So, Heather Harris, the ick, in my experience, I've had it happen in a tank that hasn't had anyone new in 6 months. Ick is a little protist parasite thing. I don't think it's a bacteria. I think it's a protist. Might be wrong. But it lives in the substrate. It lives down in the rocks and things. And it actually lives on your fish, too. Just like you have fecal coliform bacteria on you. You have staph bacteria on you. It lives on and around and in the tank, but it takes the fish being stressed or the parameters changing suddenly for that to come out of nowhere. Now, you could get an infested fish and have it explode, but my guess, and I've seen some studies where people have looked for ick, it's in a lot of tanks. I don't know if it's in all tanks, but it's in a lot of tanks just naturally. It's part of the, somewhere, just like the human body has 20 to 30,000 species of small critters living in us. be it bacteria, virus, protist, worms, whatever it is. They say that 2/3 of the cells, because they're so much smaller viral cells in our body, are not ours. Only 1/3 of the cells in our body are human cells. Kind of mind blowing stuff. But with fish and most animals, it's the same way. That's why when something dies, it rots and mold happens and things hatch and it's just not good. So with ick personally, I keep my tanks a little warmer in like really dense guppy colonies to the point where they won't get it, because I just have over the years my guppies just get ick over and over and over again, and so I just keep the tank at like 82 in my really dense like 20-gallon guppy tanks that have like 120 guppies in them or something for now. um that's what I do, because if you turn up the heat and keep doing water changes, you interrupt the life cycle of the ick. It can't get onto the fish and have its life cycle, or at least not many can. I think 83.1 degrees or 82.9, somewhere in there, very specific. There's a point where they just don't. It doesn't live. It doesn't, or can't reproduce, I should say. Um, let's see here. Do, 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 do. Go eat dinner, Sunshine Aquatics. Crystal Shack Aquatics, you have a good one too. I'm not letting me do a super chat. Oh, it's not letting you do a super chat? That's really odd. I'm sorry. Ben, if you would like to help out, there's always Patreon, but they take a cut. To be completely honest, if you go to PayPal and just enter the name Alexander J. Williamson, just like the Scottish, traditional way. So Alexander J, the letter J, Williamson at gmail.com. You can give me money as a gift on PayPal through that email. And honestly, they don't take a cut. And so, whereas super chats take 30% anyways. And so I really do appreciate that. And I try to stay transparent and kind of keep track of all that. And, you know, I'm up like right now, I've got money that right now the Patreon totally pays for my food and my, well, it could just pay for the electricity or the food. And care and meds and things that I go through in an average month. And then fish buy on my own. But I am trying to get to the point where I can start getting more stuff, because I support the hobby by buying and selling my own fish and shrimp and plants at the local club, and through anything else that where someone wants to donate something, or I'll buy a tank, fix it up, sell it, so on and so forth. Um, but yeah, take a good, have a good night, Haley. Take care. Bum 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 bum. Dansley's back. Random question popped into my mind. When will the giveaway happen again? Okay, so I haven't worked that kink out yet with Aquatic Arts, but I'm assuming they told me quarterly. So I've talked to David, the owner, Matt, the guy who orders fish, and he's up for me ordering specific fish, like the orange Cory lasers and the panda loaches, stuff like that. Like he ordered because I was talking about it, and he thought he could sell some to the viewers. So we kind of have this cool relationship where he'll kind of order things in to the website so that I can buy them, and they keep their prices really, really fair for a retail. Granted, I know if you know a breeder or your dad owns a pet store, you've seen the wholesale prices of things, and you know that the fish world's insane. Like red cherry shrimp cost 10 cents overseas. But you have to ship them here, keep them alive, quarantine them, make sure they're okay, make sure they don't have the any of the parasites, and sometimes you lose them all, you know? If I cut off here, I'm sorry. I have a new router, which was another thing I spent money on. I'm buying a gimbal once I figure out what the heck brand I want to use. And then it brought up the whole other question of, do I want to get like a GoPro that I can put down in the fish tanks and get cool footage of that? Or do I want to get a scope that goes on my microscope and records video off that? Because I'd like to do more stuff in 2019, examining the flora and fauna of the microscopic world. So yeah, um, that's just stuff that has popped into my head as like 2019 goals. The other thing is I don't own this house. Um, I rent it, even though we've been here. Well, I've been here 6 years, but my wife's been here like decades, a decade and change. So I just got permission to like remodel the kitchen and redo the light fixtures and some wiring. And I showed in another video. Hold on, let me turn this around. Um, right here, there is on the other side of this. There's our washer and dryer. You can see from the mirror the reflection of the bathroom. Washer and dryer in a closet on the other side of this, but they put a wall, drainage and spout, like a line in and a line out, a sewer line, right in the wall or whatever, brown water line, dirty line. And it's in this closet as if they were trying to decide if they should put it here. And I would love to automate the water changes in here, and then I could really do some serious levels of breeding. In the meantime, I have rescued my colony. These guys are super. These guys were originally, I had bred them myself really carefully. Also, by the way, someone asked if I had corridors. This is one of my lone like that one's lone, but in the tank below I've got a whole bunch of cories. I've got cories behind me in the other tank, babaltis, both kinds of panda ones, the long tail and the short tail. And then I also have Hebrosis. I have a whole load of these little guys that I'm trying to breed. And I think I might give them their own tank with some sand and slate and stuff like that. Also, you can see the ancestress here. That's that pure white albino with the blue eyes, though. Let's see. Dan Slee says gimbal and tripod. Even if you stick with phone, it will help a lot. Totally. I agree, and I know that the handshaking is rough. Also, this phone is waterproof. The problem is I just can't get good shots. Like I can't zoom in or adjust any of the effects. And I like to use what's it called? Manual mode, because I'm used to old school film cameras. Also, up in here, I'm breeding the best yellow shrimp in the world, hands down, Neocaradinas, that is. The males even look phenomenal. They're just banana yellow, electric yellow, and I've got two females here that are pregnant. These are the goldback shrimp. That's a male. Like that's the bad coloration of the bunch. The females, if I could find, here's one up here. She has a bunch of babies. Looks like she'll have, I don't know, a ton of babies. But they're in here with the blue Moscow guppies, and those have also had quite a few babies. The female, there were three females in with this male, and where are they? They're hanging out somewhere. But there were three females of breeding age that grew up with this guy, and they actually, one of them ate herself to death when I gave them bloodworms. And that's not really funny, but she literally ate so many that her stomach exploded, and there were babies in it. And I cut her stomach open, autopsy style, and basically she had these babies in her as eggs and like little wigglers. And so I put them in an aerated little container, and a day later they ended up hatching, and even though they were teeny tiny, they are alive. So that's great. I gotta save the babies. But there's a mom chilling somewhere around here. There's two moms. And some medium size, getting bigger guppies. Also, check out this freak. He has a twin attached to his belly that's fry size. And I'm just letting it be because he can eat fine. But there's like an upside down another fish grafted onto him. Like he was going to be a Siamese twin and it failed. Um, so that's kind of funky. We'll see what he looks like when he gets bigger. If you guys have ever watched South Park, there's an episode about that that's like super inappropriate and foul, but uh, it reminds me of that. I'm wondering where the heck the females are though. This tank right now is just kind of becoming a catch-all for plants to hang out, like bulb plants and things like that. Um, I'm just concerned. Where are the other female? Oh, duh, there she is. There both of them are. So this gal's ready to pop too. She'll be having a lot of babies soon, I'm sure. You can actually make out eyes in the back, in those that area of black dots. So probably tomorrow or the next few days. Yeah. So that's what's going on in the blue Hawaiian Moscow tank. Yeah, that is the definition of South Park. Also, here, as I was saying, I found some of my original line shrimp that I've been keeping since I started back with aquariums after living in places where I couldn't have them at all. And even though the color's not that great on the phone, as always, these guys have red legs, red whiskers, everything. They're painted fire or Sakura grade, and so like this guy, I need to cull. He's subpar to me. He's got too much clear in him, and his legs aren't red. So I'm gonna get him out. But these are babies right now, and I've got some red line Sakura and painted fire, which is interesting. Also, I've got a load of these red shrimp that are pregnant, and so they're making a rebound, which I'm happy about. I've been working hard to try to get that to happen, and it finally is. I thought I could show you guys off more of these shrimp. I don't know where they're all hiding right now. But there's about 20 or 30 in this tank right now, probably, maybe more. And then there's also little teeny babies. Little teeny babies. Where are they? I was just trying to find one. There are dozens and dozens and dozens of these little red baby shrimp right now that the fish are picking off, but not at a rate that will impede anything. So there's this age, and whatever generation this was, these are low grade shrimp. So if your babies look like this, they're gonna stay pretty low grade. They may look a little bit better if you feed them, put them on a dark substrate, and you get them fed up really well and have health, get them really healthy. But for me, that's gonna be a cull. I like to keep my strains real tight, real tight guidelines. Also, the Japanese blue endlers that I have worked with now for, what are we at? Almost 10 generations. They're almost at where I want them to be with the purple, turquoise, and blue, and then they've got electric leopard spots in yellow or purple on the top of their dorsal, and it's a big dorsal. So we've got that dad, and then where's the other dad? He's hanging out way back in the corner. Also, I've been planting some pink panther. Let's see here. So yeah, we've got this fish with the purple tail, as you guys saw. And he's what I want. He's almost finished. If he had snake skin of turquoise and silver and black on his front, he would be like my ideal. And then here is the other one, which has purple edges on his tail and then the base of his caudal fin starts at a red color and then goes to an orange and then to a yellow and like a neon yellow. So it looks like it's on fire. So that's pretty rad. I do need to get the male out of there. There's, another male that's colored up. And they color up daily. Like every few days I pull out males. But some of these females are getting really big and putting out consistently good quality endlers like this. You'll see still photos on Facebook or Instagram of these guys. Yeah. James, what's up? Uh, Lumpy Dog, hey, how's it going? How old do dwarf cories get? I've had them last 3 or 4 years at least. I would guess like most cories. I don't think they're much shorter, lifespan wise. This guy has grown up really interestingly. I don't know why he's so scared of me today. I mean, I did try to pull him out of the tank like 2 weeks ago, but I love that lyre tail guppy males do the tail boogie, and they actually can like flip their tail out sideways and put their fins up. Looks like they're all trying to entertain the females there. Oh, and there is the newest generation of babies, and they're a little more red than those middle-aged babies. So, yeah. Moving down. Also we have the green, the axelrodi. These are different than the ones upstairs, supposedly. And I notice a slight difference, but I think it's like a location variation. I don't think it's a different species, personally. But these are supposedly green axelrodi. And they just have less red in their belly and kind of a green in the top. Like kind of a jade green, I guess. But they look like blue and red just the same. And I have a lot of babies, like enough that I need to split things up ASAP. And hold on, let me grab a net. Let's see here. Also, we've got the tiger endlers. I just noticed a guppy that needs to be rehomed to maybe like an Oscar tank. Unfortunately, she is sick. And I just dewormed everyone. And so she's probably got some, I don't know what the issue is. But this tank is full of dewormer and antibiotics at the moment. And hopefully that'll take care of her. Because everyone else is doing real well. So, this tank looks like a mess, and I made all these crazy yarn balls like mops, but we've got Julii corridoras under here. They're not Julii, okay, you got me. They're false Juliis that every pet shop I've ever been to tries to sell as Julii corridoras. By the way, too, my plecos from the Cheese Creek ones, they're also turning more leopardy color. And I think that they are similar to the green dragon plecos, but they just, yeah, I don't know if you saw that, but they take that on. Here's some more Habrosis corridora, but they're from a different location. They have a big black streak down their side and a big dot. With nice little stripes on their tail. So I've kept them separate. But if you look at this, I have a lot. Aloha, by the way, Josh. A lot of fry. So I really need to sell some of these. These will not all be up to par. And I never hook people up with subpar stock. So, yeah, but I will probably be selling some of these on Get Gills or Wet Spot. Ideally, I like to sell them to people close, or trade or whatnot. Also, I was going to tell you my Julia corridoras are breeding, and there's some babies in here. They hide pretty good, but they're just so friggin' cute that I would really like to get one on film for you guys. Oh, I see one. There's a baby Julia Corridora. He is, or she is, so flippin' cute. I take any eggs I find in this mass of like dead plants and Java ferns and stuff that have grown together, and I basically, if I see eggs, I throw it down in the tank, and yeah. But as you can see, this is a Triliniatus uh, false Julia Corridora. He's going under a ledge, but super cute. Just I love these things when they're babies. They're so cute. Way smaller than even the Habrosis. So there's about 6 juveniles in here currently, and about 6 adults all hanging out under there, under some ferns, some bulbitis. Yeah. So let's see here. What are people saying? I'd say neorites will lay eggs, but they don't hatch. Neorites lay a lot of eggs, white dots all over the place, but they usually don't hatch because they need salt water. Let's see. Oh yeah, sorry Betsy, sorry to hear about that. Alright, let's see what else people are saying. How are the stir-by doing? I'll get to them in just one sec. I just wanted to show you guys, I got a new product that I cannot speak highly enough of. It's Marine brand, and it's a hang off the box, or hang off the edge fry keeper, but it's big. It's like half gallon, or a liter, at least a liter. And I've got in here, you're probably just seeing my reflection, I've got in here some scarlet batis, which are super red, but it's dark. I keep them dark. I'm trying to keep them calm. Scarlet batis, and I've got 3 in here, two females and a male, and I'm keeping them behind this veil. And there's a divider here. You can add more dividers all over the place. And this thing was like, I don't know, 12, I want to say $12. And you just put an air line through right down here, and it pumps water up, and out here there's a nice little grate you can put in, a lid that clamps on in case you got jumpers like pseudomagills or something. And yeah, and then in this side I've got more of the CPDs. So CPDs are in here, and they'll probably get moved upstairs sooner than later. And then over here I've got well, I don't know what I got. Nothing in there right now. But it'll be a fry keeper later. And this is all, the reason I'm using this tank is because this is where my blue dream shrimp are, and they do real well in here, but they've got algae and bugs galore, little white dots moving on the glass and swimming around, and all of this stuff is food for babies. So all that stuff is food, and it gets filtered in the water up here, and yeah, so I like that. Here's the yellow species of come on, focus. The yellow is in there, coloration. So that's good. You could turn that into a super, yeah, you could turn that into a super hang off the back that was air powered, which would be nice. So I keep them in the dark just because a lot of these little fish are calmer in the dark. It helps them breed, I've noticed. Yeah. Okay. Over here, got my worm boxes, some black worms, some white worms, some grindle worms, some vinegar eels, all that going on around here. And then we've got in here no fish right now, adult wise, and we'll check it. I just moved them today, and there may be, we'll see, more fry. But I have so many fry kicking around in random tanks of different nano fish. I mean, oh yeah, we got a fry. I see one. I see the first one of this round. I am very happy about that because Let's see if I can get it on film for you guys. It is so very small. Um, there, yeah, you guys can see it, I hope. Maybe I need to zoom back out. Yeah, there we go. You guys see it up over here? Back in there. So, I like this little light wand thing I got for like, I don't know, $1 at the dollar store. But I can put the wand up to the side of the tank and really see what kind of fish I have going on, plus bacteria growth or anything like that. But what I did is I took my turkey baster and I took some of the little bugs out of the fish tank water over yonder or out of the shrimp tank, and I put it into here and put moss in here so that they can start to eat that. So this time I'm gonna try growing some out in this specific tank. And if you want to see the adults, so here's the tin Winnie that I am breeding also. But right up here, the one spastic with the orange and blue, let's see if he comes back. That is a Maytangensis Danio. Right here. Nothing. There he comes. Right there. And they are just incredibly beautiful. Like, you guys know how it is on live stream. But to me, I think they're one of the more beautiful species of Danio. And they get about 1.5 inches long. A little bit longer than I like, but that's okay. And then in here, we have Tin Winnie or Gold Ring Danios that I'm breeding. I don't know. They haven't hatched or anything yet, to my knowledge. I always put cardboard up so they're not stressed. But we'll see. They have 24 to 72 hours to hatch. That's just there's not a worm or anything in there. That's like silicone stuck to the glass. But we'll see what happens here. Sometimes stuff doesn't actually hatch. The flow is a little high, so I'm actually gonna adjust that, push that towards like the wall maybe. And this tank is not heated, so it's about 68 degrees Fahrenheit, and we'll see how that ends up. Also, my leopard frog plecos, they're growing bigger. I moved them out of the tank upstairs down into here. They're coloring up yellow and getting the fat bellies like they do. Well, they're called frog plecos. My blue beta, or my blue gourami, is in the quarantine tank. The Cabamba furcata is gone nuts, and I love this plant. Beautiful, beautiful plant. But what I did is I removed the whole back row of plants in this tank. Oh, sorry, guys. Ugh. And it's all Amazonia ADA back there on the ledge, and I'm gonna replant it with something and thin all this out, keep this lower, maybe move most of this stuff back up there. But right now we've got my Arus and my Aru2s, Tin Winnies. They're naturally just breeding. You can see all the Tin Winnie gold spotted Danios in here. They just naturally are breeding on their own in this tank. And that's okay. I'll allow it. Also, there is 1 or 2 guppy females left over from, I don't know how they got in there, but I'm going to try to get them out. And then we've got tiger teddies in here as the live bear. That's the only live bear I want in this tank. But I just feel like all my tanks I've had so much nicer for aquascaping, and at the moment they all look like poo. So with aquascaping though, you really have to wait. You have to this is a calculated grow out. I'm waiting for this piece to be big enough that when I trim it in half, I can plant it again and it'll look good as the new row of tiered plants. So it may look like madness, but maybe I'll do a video on that. Also, the Orange rummy nose rasboras doing phenomenal. I've read a lot of reports that people can't keep them alive for probably dumb luck rather than skill. I'm not gonna lie. They're doing real well in this tank. There's also some Kyathit Danios in here. What other Danios are there? There's the Maytangensis, the Kyathit, and then the Tinwini, and then there's also Hatchet Danios in here. So lots of Danios. Oh, and there's CPDs and Emerald Erythromicrons, and yeah. So this is the baby fry you just saw. These are their parents, and just beautiful. They love swimming in this current. I got a new power head, and this power head is 500 gallons an hour. Uh, yeah. You say great lighting in this video, and I appreciate that, Andrea. Andrea. Oh, there's the hatchet Daniel, by the way, that orange one. That looks like a hatcheted body. There goes another one. But it's actually washed out. Like, I can't show you, but this is blood red, I promise. This is neon pink, I promise. Blood red again. So like yellows and greens show up really well, but my blues and my reds are just awful on live stream. So I'll post some pictures of the critters soon. Here's a tiger teddy just chilling in the breeze. They're gonna start calling me the dingo because I got so many babies. Sorry guys, that joke might have been too soon. The long fin green pleco with my oh, there's a babalti. So someone was asking about my babalti. They all hang out kind of just wherever life takes them. Andrea and Ria. Yeah. Wait, did you change your name, Andrea? Because there's another Andrea and Andre. I don't know. I can't keep life straight. I'm gonna blame it on my head injury from the lightning. But I apologize for getting your name wrong. If you want, you can call me like Alexander Wilhelm Shelson or something. But yeah, so fun times. That's what's going on in the fish room. I think we're approaching. Oh, we're over an hour. But I just wanted to do kind of a like, Happy New Year's. Hope everyone's doing well. Remind you of the special going on at Aquatic Arts, and just remind you guys that you rock. And oh, we hit 4,000. 4,000. Let's see here. Dwayne Timberlake says, do you want to link it so you can get a few dollars if we buy it? You know what? Yeah, I am gonna start probably doing some of that. I probably will start doing some affiliate links because it doesn't hurt anyone. Everyone's getting the same price thing. I just haven't done it yet because it hadn't clicked that like, oh, YouTube's a thing now. By the way, here comes the panda cories. Since I put in the 500 power head instead of the 250, it has completely changed who hangs out where. Like, the cories are all over the glass. The strong Danios are all over trying to fight this flow. And then back here you got all the wimps like the pencil fish and stuff. I'm just kidding. And the gouramis and things are hiding in here. Plecos down low. All that stuff. So yeah, hit that like button before you leave if you haven't yet. I would appreciate that. Subscribe if you're not subscribed somehow. And if I could ask of you, sharing the channel really, really helps. Will crossbreeds turn into mutts? Someone asked. Yeah, I don't know. You know what? I am very curious about that. I asked that same question, and I was told that it's believed that some will and not create viable offspring. but I don't know about like the viable offspring ones. We have a Corridora expert coming into town on Tuesday to give a talk about uh, venom and poison in uh, in quarries, and so hopefully we can find out more about that. I bought some albinos and a spotted one from Walmart. Corridor, as he says. Huh. Yeah, I mean the albinos are definitely like you can get an albino and then a spotted one or an Aeneas or whatever. Tetra Keeper says, "Do you know how to breed CPDs? Because I got 5 CPDs from my local fish club for $14. That's a good deal on the CPDs. I do know how to breed them. I am not super good at breeding them, but I would like to get better at it. How's that for an answer? Um, I have gotten them to breed in like maybe 10 babies at most, just by I have a whole video on CPDs, but I haven't, and I've gotten them to lay like 50 eggs, but I haven't gotten that many babies to survive. You really need to raise brine shrimp or infusoria and vinegar eels, white worms, things like that, and then do some color or water changes. Species only is best, but they'll surprise you. Once in a while, I've had them breed just like here's another CPD right here, the orange kind, and sometimes they'll just surprise you and just randomly go nuts and start breeding in a tank and end up fine. So it can happen. I'll just say that. All right, you guys. I was gonna say the thing you could do that would really help me. By the way, it's time for this to go off. Would be if you find a video you like on one of my playlists or whatever. Actually, my playlist right now, I'm redoing my playlists so that they make sense. For some reason, on my old playlist thing, there were duplicates. There were videos that weren't mine. There were videos that didn't make any sense. I'm redoing it all. It's just going to take some time. But go back on a video, find one that you find applicable or useful. And if you're one of those people who keeps asking, how can I help the channel, but I don't have any money for a super chat? Sharing. Just post it to Twitter, post it to a friend group or whatever. Yeah. Yeah, exactly. Lucas has one on breeding CPDs. I've got one on breeding CPDs. I know the information that he knows, but it could just be my water chemistry, like why I can only get like a dozen or less each spawn, or maybe I don't know. I don't know what it is. I haven't tried extensively. I probably get better if I did it more than like 3 or 4 times. But right now I'm on a kick with Danios and Rasboras. I really want to breed some of these super micro fish like the Phoenix Rasbora, like some of the smallest fish in the world. That's what's floating my boat. But find one of my old videos that is interesting. I have over 300 and some videos, and they just get lost. They basically don't even get recommended anymore unless they have a ton of views. And some of the ones that have a ton of views, no offense to myself, no, screw that. Offend myself. I will fully offend myself. Some of them are not the best made. They're shaky and whatnot. And if you go watch some of the other videos that maybe only have like 200 views, there's some ones that I spent like a week researching that are still back there. So go back through the catalog of episodes and things like that, and that would really help me if you don't have money to contribute but you want to help. And then sharing on social media, in Facebook groups where it's pertinent, not just spamming people, that also helps a lot. So with that said, you guys, I appreciate you so much. It's been a great year. No, it wasn't. It was a terrible year for me. I got hit by lightning and had a blood clot. But it's still a great year. I'm alive, in some debt, but it'll get better. Life's good. I'm here. You guys are here, and we have another day for life to get better, and that's magical. So I hope 2019 we grow as a community even more. Get some more resources. Would be cool if I could go like actually on a trip. I want to go down to Tampa, talk to some of the nanofish research at Florida State University. Um, there's just a lot of stuff I want to go do and check out, and I'd like to share it with you guys. So, yeah. And get better equipment, obviously. So, have a wonderful 2019. Have a wonderful rest of the weekend, and I will talk to you guys later. Much love, respect. Take care of your fish. Take care of the people around you. And then take care of yourself, or you can't do that other stuff, and your life will be great. And I want to come visit Betsy and Gary and Lucas. I need to make a Midwest trip. Maybe I would love to go to Aquashella, or which I believe might be in Austin. I've heard rumor, and then I also would love to go to Aquatic Experience. It's oftentimes in Chicago. Maybe it'll be in St. Louis or somewhere in the Midwest. But yeah, I would love to travel for the channel. Right now, I'm nowhere near the kind of money I need for like $1,000 to $2,000 trip, if you really count all the food and if I bring stuff. But I think I'm gonna get some shirts and some merchandise made, because I've made a bunch for Lucas and other channels. I just really stink at doing it for myself. So yeah, there should be more stuff coming up in the future. And thank you so much for being patient with me as the channel grows and as I learn doing this and all that stuff. Aquashella was in Chicago, but they talked about maybe doing one in Miami and another one in Austin, I think, and New Jersey, depending on, I don't know what. That's just internet speculation. Don't listen to me. Yes, you can travel much cheaper, definitely, if you can stay with people like Betsy. So that's why I would first go to those places. I do have a lot of friends all over the world, so I'd like to do some world traveling. That would be outside of this channel, but I'd love to take you guys along if I did so, if I go to Germany or Southeast Asia and the like. Okay. Getting off track. Vexing Cat, I see that you're here. I'm sorry that it's ending. I love that you came, though. Jason, Brady, Dallas. Is Dallas where it's going to be? I don't know. Sounds like it could be. If I heard a rumor of Austin, Dallas makes sense that could be a possibility, too. All right, guys. Take care of yourselves. Have a great day. Have a great weekend. I already said that. Blah, blah, blah. And check out the sale. You got a little bit, about a week left, and we will talk to you later. Yeah, if you can find camping in downtown Chicago, good luck. I've slept in my car more often than not, honestly. In some really bad parts of town on road trips in like Oakland and Detroit and Flint and Baltimore. So I'm no stranger to that. I'm not afraid of it. Whatever. Bring it on. I'll do it for the fish. Someone needs to fight for them. All right, guys. Have a good night. Bye.